All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Real quick, do you guys hear an echo? Okay. What about now? 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 What about now?
Yeah,
Got it. Okay. What about now? Good?
good.
Perfect. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our pre-New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody is doing well today, this fine Tuesday. So we're going to dive in, catch up on what's happened beginning of the week, and see what opportunities we can take advantage of in this Forex market. So without further ado, please turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. All right. So let's slide over to trading economics. We will go through the news there, and then we'll take a look at the calendar, and then we'll dive into the chart. So drop me one in the chat if you can see my screen. Yes, no, maybe. Cool, beautiful. All right, so European shares rise, helped by tech rally. European stock market rose on Tuesday, with the pan-European stock 600 gaining 0.7%, supported by a tech-led rally on Wall Street overnight. Investors are eagerly awaiting NVIDIA's results and preliminary August PMI data, both of which are due Wednesday, along with the Federal Reserve's annual economic symposium at Jackson Hole. So Jackson Hole Economic Symposium happens every year. We could see kind of some consolidation ahead of that because with Chairman Powell speaking, there definitely could be some volatility in the market as he will discuss interest rates, economic future, things like that at this summit. So we want to be aware of that as we move through the week, ensuring that we keep our eyes on what's happening there in the words, again, that are chosen by the central bank. So that's what everybody has their eyes on for the most part, right? We did have Swiss trade surplus smallest in 3 months, so things are slowing a bit in Switzerland. Then we had Brent crude futures steadied above $84 a barrel on Tuesday after losing some ground in previous session as traders continue to assess various demand and supply factors. Economic uncertainties in China continue to weigh on the demand outlook as policy support measures for Beijing have so far failed to convince markets of a stronger recovery in the world's top crude importer. Investors also brace for the preliminary U.S. PMI data and the Federal Reserve's annual economic symposium in Jackson Hole. On the supply side, output cuts by OPEC plus majors, Saudi Arabia and Russia, provide a floor on oil prices. Investors now look ahead to U.S. crude inventory figures and American Petroleum Institute on Tuesday, and the official data from the EIA on Wednesday. All right, so we could see some interesting things start to happen with oil as Saudi Arabia and Russia continue to cut their output. We could see oil steady and then potentially make a move to the upside. So we'll watch that there. All right. So that's oil. Then this one just popped up. Let's see. Public sector net borrowing, excluding banks in the UK, was 4.3 billion in July. Excuse me, up from 0.9 billion in the same month last year, and below market forecast of 5 billion. Still, it was the fifth highest July borrowing since monthly records began in 1993, trailing behind July borrowing during the coronavirus pandemic. So borrowing is up for non-banks. So that's something to watch as well in the UK. Largely due to payments to the Bank of England, asset purchases facility fund from HM Treasury under the indemnity agreement. So we'll watch that coming out of the UK. Some of the borrowing coming out there. UK factory orders fell more than forecasted. That's also something to watch there. All right. So mixed data coming out of the UK. So that is it from a news perspective. I'm going to send you guys this article here from the Japan Times. Not this one. Talking about here, this article here, some of the adjustments that the Bank of Japan has made and what that could lead to in the future. We could be nearing a point where the Bank of Japan really starts to change their policy, right? We know prices are high. We'll take a look at the yens. But also things are starting to get a bit difficult for them as they continue to try to move through this period of time. So take a look at this article, and we'll keep our eyes on the Bank of Japan as we move through the next couple months and see how things go from their yield curve perspective, and see if they do start to actually change the policy, seeing as the amount that they're buying is causing issues. The amount of bonds that they're buying is causing issues now. And inflation continues to move up higher than expected. So keep your eyes peeled there. Over to Forex Factory, right? CPI came in this morning, 1 a.m. Eastern time, above the expectation, 3.3. This is out of Japan. Core CPI number above the 2.9 forecast, 2.9% forecast. So inflation is higher. Them buying the amount of bonds is starting to cause issues that could lead to changes coming in the near future. All right. So we'll watch and we'll take a look at the charts to see what it says technically as well. Today, existing home sales for the United States at 10 o'clock. FOMC members coming to the microphone at 2:30 and 3:30. Retail sales coming out of New Zealand at 6:45 tonight with their at 6:45. Then we got flash PMI for the Aussie at 7. And then flash manufacturing PMI for Japan at 8:30. Also, those numbers could be interesting, especially for Japan. Tomorrow morning, coming out of Europe, we got PMI data. Then we have UK PMI data, retail sales for Canada, PMI data for the United States, right? So this week is a heavy data week, along with you also have the BRICS summit, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia, as they are also trying to move forward with their plans. So there could be some interesting data coming out of this BRICS summit as well. That actually starts today. So we'll keep our eyes on those, as well as that Jackson Hole Symposium, which will start tomorrow. Then on Thursday, unemployment claims for the dollar, durable goods orders, FOMC member speaking, Jackson Hole Symposium starts on Thursday. And then Friday, business climate for the euro, more FOMC members coming to the microphones. Consumer sentiment, Fed Chair Powell speaking at 10:05, and then President Lagarde speaking at 3 o'clock on Friday. So got a packed week of information, data, symposiums, summits that could definitely cause some volatility in the market. So we want to keep our eyes peeled there and ensure that we watch how things move. All right. So that is it from a fundamental perspective, did you guys see anything that caught your eye that you want to discuss or have questions about? No? All right, cool deal. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. You got anything from a fundamental perspective that caught your eye that you're looking at closely this week?
No, I was just really that article you sent me this morning on the Bank of Japan, was quite interesting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Did you cover that already?
Yeah, I talked briefly about it. You got any other thoughts though?
Yeah, I mean, they're buying their own bonds. I think that's concerning. I think that could lead to more weakness long term in the yen.
More weakness long term in the end. Does
Yeah.
that then cause shift in the policy?
Yeah, I think because if they're buying their own bonds, if the Bank of Japan is going in and they're buying government bonds, to me, that can actually increase, the money supply in the system, right? When they're buying their own bonds, which, that can devalue the currency.
Yeah. Then leading
So,
to more inflation.
which can lead to more inflation. It can make the yen less attractive, right? Because it tends to also push down interest rates, right? So even further, they're negative. So it's already not the most attractive currency. You know what I mean? Outside of a safe haven play,
Right.
And the fact that they're pumping more money into the system, shows signs of an issue when it comes to the overall health of their economy. In Japan. So that's the way it can at least be perceived.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah. So just thinking through it, right? So ultimately either inflation soars for them or they stop buying these bonds, which then could positively impact their currency. Both of those in either scenario.
Correct. Yeah. So when I saw that, it's like they're buying it at a record pace, this year. I mean, and we see what's going on with the yen right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the one thing that caught my eye when you sent me that article this morning. So just read through it real quick before I logged on. Try to get an idea of what it was about. But that's it. As we continue to see, I mean, we'll see corrections, but I still, when you look at those yen crosses, I still expect them overall to move up. But there will be corrections that come.
Right. Cool. I dig it, man. I dig it.
Yep.
Whoops, hold on 1 second. One second, everybody. All right, cool deal. There we go. So let's dive over to the charts. We'll take a look at the dollar, see where things stand there, and then we'll dig in. Give me 2 seconds. All right, cool deal. So the DXY. This is on the daily, right? This is on the daily. This is our let me make sure that's right here. Yep, ran that fib off the bottom. Ultimately, we stayed inside that AB boundary. We know about the crown pattern that we've been watching for a while, but overall, we've just been moving sideways for quite some time. So we pushed back to the top of this range here, this daily daily level right in this 118 to 127 zone. I ran this sub fib off the low, just off the bottom of the range. And here we do have a shallow retracement. We push into that 118 and 127 zone. So the question is, do we get a retracement in the dollar this week, right? So we'll watch this closer to see if price does come back to this daily support level here or press deeper, coming back down to the bottom of the range. And a couple things that just looking at this within the range, within this potential 80-20 scenario on the sub fib, a few things that I did see that I'll be interested to see if they play out. One is a potential crown pattern here inside the consolidation, right? If we get this retracement back down to this second daily support level, 12,715, right? Giving us the right tip, push to the upside. That's one piece there. The other piece is if we also then get that pullback back down to that support level, we could also have a larger head and shoulders pattern here. Right? So these are two things that caught my eye as I was going back over this chart. So we'll see if either of these play out. If we get this retracement on the dollar, which could push obviously those dollar crosses in the other direction. But that could set us up if we do get this retracement over the next couple weeks back down to the support level. That could set us up for a larger move back to the upside, right? So that's what I'm looking at on the DXY. Keep my eyes on it, see how it actually moves and see what happens here. But that caught my eye on the DXY. So we'll watch that to see if any of that occurs, if any of that plays out. So, but that's on the daily time frame there. We drop down to the 4. And there's the move there. We got a 50% retracement on the 4 off this smaller waves to the upside. That D extension is just above that daily resistance level, 12,994, right? So maybe we get another push to the upside and then a pullback. So we'll watch and see how the DXY moves with that Jackson Hole Summit this week and all of the information, the PMI data, and all of that's coming out this week. So we'll keep our eyes peeled there to see how things move. So that's the dollar. Any questions here?
No, sir.
Nope. All right, cool deal. All right. I want to take a look at these yen crosses. We'll actually start with the dollar yen, just to see where they are with that information coming out. Just want to stay tight and abreast of what's happening to ensure that we're prepared in the event that something does change in the future. So let's clear that out. So on daily time frame, just gonna clean this up. I was trying to keep these in just to watch these moves, but it makes it kind of hard to read. So, but 618 retracement, price been pushing to the upside, right? Pushing to the upside, we got daily resistance at 148.857. We're moving sideways right now, just shy of the 118 and 127 zone. So we will see if we get this next push to the upside. At the extension is above the monthly resistance at 151. Be a large move, however, with what's happening with the yen. Maybe it happens, right? Maybe the currency does continue to get depreciated or devalued, and we see the push to the upside, which then could lead to that change in sentiment for the BOJ. So we'll watch that to see, but we're pressing sideways right now. We broke this previous resistance level, and it's holding our support as we currently stand. So we'll see if that continues. Oops. We'll take these boxes out and drop that resistance level back in. I'm going to keep it there until we either get a break or a push to the upside. So we'll keep that level there as holding our support right now. So that's where we are on the daily. Coming down to the 4. Zoom out, and we'll run the fib off the low here. And there we are, right? So on the 4, we got the shallow retracement, push to the 118 level, just shy of it here. and that's where we have the consolidation. So looking for a breakout in one direction or the other. And we could continue to see, like I said, this sideways movement on these dollar pairs and dollar crosses as we move through or move to that Jackson Hole summit. So we'll watch and see if we stay in this range with the PMI data that comes out. But pressing sideways right now here on the 4, coming down to the 1. All right, and you see that range more clearly there, but you're also in that 118, 127 zone moving sideways, right? Which we see that consolidation a lot of times when we do have those shallow retracements and pushes into the 118, 127 zone. All right, so that is the dollar yen. We'll see what I'm looking for here is a breakout, all right? We got the consolidation there. If we break out to the upside, we'll likely head to that daily resistance at 148 and get to that D extension. If we break to the downside, then we could see that retracement come. All right, so moving sideways right now. Questions on dollar yen?
No.
Nope. All right. Cool deal. All right. And Aussie yen. So on this Aussie yen, it's been in an interesting space, right? Daily time frame, we got the 50% retracement. We haven't been able to break out to the upside. We've been stalling at this daily support level, 92,786, and we're pushing back to the upside here. We talked about the Aussie over the weekend and the weakness and uncertainty there, especially with the things happening in China. So there's some weakness in the Aussie, but the yen is the yen, right? So it's pressing back to the upside now. But my question is, do we stay below 94,976, right? And if we do, will that give us an opportunity to get back short, right? Coming to the 4-hour, right? We had this deep retracement pushed down in the stall, and here's our press sideways. So again, consolidation, and I'm looking to see what direction this one moves. You got two currencies that aren't necessarily in strong positions. So we'll see what happens here, right? We'll see what happens to see if there is a boost in the commodity currencies this week to give us this pushback to the upside. But as we move down to the 1, ultimately, I didn't catch this 80-20 play here, but I'm looking for a high price to potentially get short here, right? If we stay inside this AB boundary, right, and price stall 618-786 range, then I might look for an opportunity to get short here, right? Unless something changes for Australia. So that's what I'm looking at there. But this was it actually wasn't an 80-20. We got to the 382 here. We did get to that level at TP1. So we're pushing back to the upside for a deeper retracement. So we'll watch and see what happens once we get to this range, right? If price blows through this range and takes out the A, then we'll change I'll change my perspective on it, right? And look for low prices to get back long. But pushing to the upside nonetheless here in favor of the Aussie. Questions on the Aussie yen?
No.
Nope. All right. CAD yen. So this is another one, right? Overall, so I'm going to pull these out for a second. We've been long, right? Everything long against the yen. We've been sitting in those and preparing for that for a while. We got to this high price on this CAD yen. Oil is in an interesting situation. We could start to see oil start moving back to the upside, depending on what happens over the next few days. But we pushed to an 8.6 retracement level. came back down below. This is a daily resistance level now. We've been holding here. So this is another one where my question is, do we stay below this daily resistance level, right? Do we stay below, or do we break above and continue pressing higher, take out this A boundary on this daily fib, right? So consolidating overall, this could be top of the range, maybe move back down to the bottom, we'll see. Or if we break out, then we'll continue to the upside, right? Coming down to the 4, we've been riding this long, but we've been stuck here, right? So I'm watching this closely to see if we're able to continue this move to the upside to get to the matching D extension at 111, right? So been a beautiful move to the upside off the 618 retracement, right? 300 pips. We've been stuck. So I'm watching this one. I have this one on my other account. I took some of my close some of that bearish on the CAD yen, Reese. I dig that. I dig that. I'm waiting to see what happens here, right? Reese said he's waiting on the trend line break. So we'll see, right? We definitely could come back down to the downside. Again, depending on what happens, Jackson Hole, what happens with oil, and what happens with the Canadian dollar as well, as they're also in a space where they're getting back and forth data. So we could see some interesting things transpire there. So ranging right now on the 4, coming down to the 1. Here's that range a little more clearly here, right? We got a nice deep retracement, got a nice pushback to the upside, but we're coming back down. So we got some lower time frame support here, or resistance here. We'll see if that holds that support to give another push to the upside, or if we break down and just continue moving back down to the downside. So we're ranging right now. Not a ton to see on this CAD yen. But if the higher time frame does take control, we could see this push back down to the downside, right? Yeah, so that's where we are on the CAD yen. Questions here? Reese said he's waiting on a trend line. What are your thoughts on this CAD yen, Benny?
I mean, I'm still long. We may see a correction, but I mean, I'm still on the CAD yen, and I'm still long.
Still long.
Yeah.
I dig it. Cool deal. So that's where we are there. Jeremy's holding his long too. Sweet. Yeah, like I said, I took some of my profit off and letting the rest run. I took it off as this consolidation continued to linger here at that daily resistance level. So yeah, we'll see if we get that catalyst to push it to the upside. Joy been long since 7/13. Joy has been working on her patience and holding these trades. It's a beautiful thing. Great work. Jeremy too. Great work, guys. I love it. I love it. The growth that we've seen is Reese said when everyone agrees with you, bias, you should be worried. Let's see, Reese. Let's see. But the growth that we've seen in you guys is absolutely amazing, man. Kudos to you in the work that you guys have put in, and the time that you put in, and the commitment to your growth and your success. That's what it's about. At the end of the day, that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. So we appreciate you guys, man. Swiss yen. This one continues to fly. Still just shy of the D extension here on the daily. Off the shallow retracement, just continue to ride to the upside. We had a daily resistance we broke through, came back to retest that resistance zone. I'm looking for this to get to this D extension here. To close out that daily D extension. I got this red line at 176,389, which is or 361. 329, which is the monthly D extension. 321. So at some point we definitely could get to this level. The Swiss has been on a tear. The yen is soft. So we definitely could see this monthly D extension get hit. But do we get a retracement first before we get that continuation to the upside? So that's something to continue to watch. We've already taken out that weekly D extension. We did have a swing high here. No, we haven't had a swing high to form yet. That wick pushed up. So we're waiting on a swing high to form on the weekly time frame. Who knows when we'll get it? So we don't have a fresh AB boundary there. And then we're almost at the D extension on the daily time frame. So once we get to this D extension on the daily, maybe we see, right, within this consolidation, a swing high form on that weekly time frame, and then see if we get a retracement from there. So this one is just continue to fly to the upside. On the 4, still above the cloud. I'm using the cloud as confirmation on a lot of these yen crosses, just to give some additional confirmation on them, right? Because they just everything just continues to fly, and it definitely could continue to fly to the upside. So, but we got a shallow retracement, trying to push into the 118, 127 zone here. Cloud is still bullish on the 4-hour. So still moving to the upside nonetheless on the Swiss yen. Short-term retracements, but nothing really major yet. We did have a break here, but we pushed right back above, given a double top type scenario. But we definitely could see this continue to move to the upside there. All right.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Hey. So we may see a correction soon. Their trade balance just missed. I'm actually about to post this in the Discord. Quick summary on that. Their trade balance report came out for Switzerland, so that could put some downward pressure on the franc.
Okay.
Eventually, because it missed forecast. It was forecasted at 4.5 billion. It came through at 3.13 billion. So it missed. So
okay.
Yeah. So typically, and it depends. You have to look at the situation in its entirety, risk off situation, things like that. But typically that can weaken the country's currency. So because there's a reduced foreign demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at some point we may see tail off a bit.
And that makes sense, right? As we inch closer to this D extension on the daily, see that consolidation and then a push down. I'm with that. And maybe we don't hit that D extension first. That could also be the scenario too. So I appreciate that, bro. So we'll watch this closely for the retracement to come. All right. We'll watch closely for the retracement to come. So and more looking at 80-20 on the 4-hour time frame. So maybe one more push to the upside to get to that daily D extension and put us in this 118, 127 zone. And then we'll look for that opportunity short. All right. Cool. Questions on Swiss yen? Nope. All right.
Nope.
Cool deal. We'll watch that one closely there. Euro yen. It's finally pushing back down to the downside. It started its move on the lower time frames, but here on the daily, actually, all right, we talked about over the weekend, hit that monthly D extension that we've been waiting on. Finally got there on the weekly time frame. We got to be boundary hovering in this range. Take that out now. Hovering in this range. We'll see if we get this push into the 118 and 127 zone on the weekly with the shallow retracement. We may not. Right. So we'll watch how the euro moves as well this week. But we can see starting to come down. Right. Trying to make them move back down to the downside. So here on the daily time frame, we hit that daily D extension as well. So we had a monthly and daily D extension that was achieved, tested this daily resistance level, right? Support back here, right? So we're at a key zone. We'll see if we get this retracement now, even if it's just a short-term retracement, to then have an opportunity to get back long. So see if we get a swing how to form somewhere in here and then push back down to the downside. So coming to the 4. Here's the look on the 4. And I've been waiting patiently for this to occur, starting to build my position in here. So I am looking for a retracement to come. So daily resistance, we're pushing down, starting to make this move. We got to break below the support level here. Once we do that, we could have some movement, more movement to the downside. So we got some lower time frame support there that we got to break through first. All right. And actually what I'll do is we'll box this out on the daily. It's not a full support level there, so we'll just put a box around the range and we'll watch it from there. There we go. All right. And if we're able to get a break below that, we could see some movement to the downside. So now coming down to the 1, you had your D extension hit on the 1, you had a swing high form, and now you got your retracement. So, excuse me. So now we're watching to see, right? If we push back down to the bottom of this range, that's a deep retracement on the 1 for another push to the upside. So this daily level is going to be key to see if we are able to stay below that and continue to move to the downside, or as we move in this range, if we break out to the upside, then we'll likely hit to that D extension, potentially hit some of these higher levels, and then potentially have an opportunity to get back short. So watching this one here, like I said, starting to build in a position. See if we're able to get some more movement to the downside and see if some of the data out of Europe also gives us a catalyst for this to continue short. Right. We also got end of the week Christine Lagarde speaking as well. That could also move the market if the ECB starts to change their tone in any way. All right. So that's what we're looking at here on the euro yen. We got this 80-20 scenario on the 4-hour that I'm eyeing up closely here. So that's what I'm basing things off of, my bias overall on this euro yen. Questions? No? Then pound yen. Here's another one where I've been sitting waiting patiently. So we hit the weekly D extension here, right? And had this box, this area boxed out for a while. The monthly resistance level here, right? Monthly resistance, hit that weekly D extension, see if we push any higher and push into this range. But we also have on the daily shallow retracement. I would love to see price test this monthly resistance at 188.15 and that 118 level, right? 118 level to then have an opportunity to get short. So we'll see if I get that extra push, but this is starting to get extended here, right? Starting to get extended on the higher time frames as well. So we could be in for a move at some point to the downside. So we'll watch this closely to see how it moves. Coming down to the 4, we got a 382 push here, right? And we've pushed through the 118, 127 zone. So again, this monthly level could come into play if we push there, and we'll see if we get to 190, right? But this monthly level could come into play if we continue to push long. So continue to watch and see how things transpire, see if we get a catalyst on this also for a move to the downside, and there's a cloud there. And then down on a 1, fresh AB boundary, right? So we could potentially get short-term retracement here, come back, retest that daily support, 618 retracement. If we get this and this daily level holds, that could give us an opportunity to get back long to that monthly resistance level, right? So if we get a nice deep retracement here down into the sweet spot in this daily level, which was resistance, if it holds that support, I'll be looking for an opportunity to get long here, at least back to 188.815. All right. So something to keep in mind as we move through this week, and see if we get that type of action and give us an opportunity to get long there. Okay. So that's what we're looking at there on the pound yen. Questions? No. Cool deal. Let's see. Upgraded from Prime. Carolyn, you're saying that they're already plotted on the chart? I'm not sure what you mean there. Huh. Interesting.
What you talking about? Her fibs?
No, she said that she went from plus to prime, and she likes how the trend lines and support and resistance are already on the chart.
Oh, they have smart trend lines, smart. Well, you know we have smart support,
Yeah.
smart resistance, but they had smart trend lines.
Yeah, no, I know that. But she's saying they're already on there, which doesn't have to actually turn them on, I guess.
Oh, well, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Sweet. But also, yeah, Smart Trader is a phenomenal platform, man. It's a phenomenal platform, and as you really dig into it, you start to see why we use it and why we it also helps with how we see the market as well. So it fits into everything that we do. It's a beautiful thing. Sweet. Cool deal. Questions on the pound yen? Smart trend lines there, where you can just drop them in. Like so. Boom. All right. Yeah. Couldn't figure out how to extend them. Yep. So like that. And then if you right click, just hit extend. Boom.
No, I'll talk about in the feature Carolyn talking about.
Oh, gotcha. Cool deal. So that's the pound yen. I have to dig into that. See how to get them already on there. Over to the New Zealand yen. Ooh. Well, before we get there, let's take a look at this real quick. New Zealand dollar. Smart analytics. Gotcha. Okay. New Zealand dollar. 118 and 127 zone that's already started to turn over, trying to push to the upside. If we get that retracement in the DXY, we could see this continue to move to the upside here. Let's go back. I want to look at it from a broader view first, but this is an 80-20 that we definitely could take advantage of on the day. So daily, take these out. I'm going to take all this out for a second, clean this up a bit. Boom. So those levels got broken, that got broken. Boom. All right. So this is where we are on a daily time frame. 618 retracement, just shy of 786 level, right? Price is trying to turn over here. Price is trying to turn over. See if we get a retracement and then an opportunity to get back short. Coming to the 4. 8-6 retracement level. Nice move. Strong move to the downside here, right? Strong move to the downside. So retracement opportunity, and then I'd be looking for a high price to get short on this one. We may not see this turn all the way over and ride back to the matching D extension here. So we'll see what happens there. But deep retracements on the daily and the 4-hour fib. Coming down to the 1 is where the opportunity lies. We'll run our fib off the top. Boom. So here's our 80-20 on the 1 hour on this New Zealand yen. We already got a nice bullish push to the upside, right? Let's see what the cloud looks like. Cloud break. See if we get a nice pullback to retest the cloud in this previous resistance here, and then opportunity to the upside. Boom. D extension achieved. We'll get a fresh AB boundary like that. So see if we get a little bit more of a pullback here, back into the sweet spot on the sub fib. And then this could be an opportunity for us to get long here. I didn't have this one on my radar, but it found me. So let's look for that action there. Oops. And then see if we get that opportunity to get long there. All right, putting us back into this 382 range. Okay. Like so. You guys follow me here? And then looking for a high price, potentially getting to that 618 level, high price to then get short. There's your sub fib there. You can place your stop below the A on the sub fib, below the cloud, right? Like that. Or if you want to place outside the D extension, you can do that as well. All right. Third option below the low here on that reversal. That swing low there, like that. All right. Decent risk to reward scenario there. We'll get that one posted in the Discord. 43 pip stop loss. 2-1. Getting back to that 382. So that's a nice setup there. Nice opportunity on the dollar, NZD dollar. Okay. Questions here? I'm gonna move through that one kind of quick.
Nope.
All right. We'll deal. Let's take a look at the New Zealand yen. Broke the cloud, pushing back to the upside. Let's zoom out. Daily. I haven't really been looking at these New Zealands very much. Kind of been all over the place. So left him alone a bit, but here we go. Daily resistance level there. We got a level of support. There we go. Support here. Pushing back to the upside. All right. Got a 50% retracement. Just been all sideways, right? So, but trying to push back to the upside. Maybe we get back to 88,734 and see if that level holds. Coming down to the 4. It's not a lot doing here, man. Tons of consolidation. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll come to the top of the range here. And this one was more going to be structure based. More support and resistance. We're pushing back to the upside now. We got resistance levels here, right? If we break those, we'll head to the next level. But let's see if we stay below 88,734, right? Maybe we get a push back to the top of that and then come back down to the downside. Coming down to our 1. Yeah, super choppy. Not a lot here, guys. Not a lot here. Yeah, nope. So we'll leave this one alone. There's a reversal there, pushing back to the upside. We'll see how far that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Let it continue to do what it wants to do. Yeah, I'll leave that one be. Questions on the New Zealand yen?
No, sir.
All right, cool deal. Cool deal. Benny, you got any pairs you got your eyes on, man?
I've been waiting on that Aussie Swiss for a while.
Aussie Swiss.
Yeah, it's sitting low. Just waiting on it to come through.
On that 4, right?
Yep, it was on the 4.
Yep. So the Aussie Swiss daily, this is the look. All right, we push into the 118, 127 zone here. We got COVID low, right? And if I'm not mistaken, an all-time low. Yeah, all-time low at 53,414. See if we push that low, but shallow retracement 118, 127 on the daily. This was a support level that we broke through. We'll take that out, right? And we're just stalling, pressing sideways right here. Okay. See if we get shifting a push to the upside, coming down to the 4. Here's the 80-20 opportunity that Benny's talking about here. Boom. Right. Trying to push, right? But we got this consolidation here that we need to break out. All right. Need to break out of that consolidation there. Okay. So we'll watch this one closely and see if we do get that push. There's your cloud on that, right? You see the cloud is also moving sideways. Got your resistance there. Trying to break above your T-continuing and Kijinson. We'll see if we get that crossover, that TK crossover as well. Maybe give us some momentum to push to the upside on that. All right, but just hovering, just lingering in this lower part of the range. See if we get that push there. All right, so that setup is like this. Boom. All right, another one that we talked about over the weekend. Just waiting patiently for all things to meet your rules. All right. I did add a small position in on this one already, as you guys can see here, right? As price pushes to the side, place my stop outside the D extension, and let it go. Let it go. All right. So that's the 4 hour coming down to the 1. Right. I had the zone boxed out because we were watching this a while ago, wanting to see price push down in the zone, and it did. And so now we allow things to go. We got a fresh AB boundary on the 1 hour. And here on the 1, we do have a cloud break. And we got a twist, Kumo twist with the TK crossover. So on the 1 hour, if you use the 1 hour as your confirmation, you did get the break. The lagging span also broke through the cloud. So let's see if we get a pullback and a continuation to the upside here. All right, see if we get a little bit of a pullback to retest the cloud. And then see if we get that move like that. Okay. Yep. Struggling with entering shooting. So what I'll say, JC, is just pick one and test it, right? Pick one and test it. Test it over 100 trades and see how you feel, and then test the other one for 100 trades and see how you feel. JC says she's struggling on what time frame to enter on the cloud break, what time frame to use, the 1 hour or the 4 hour. Yeah, so I that's what I did. That's what I did is I go back and I test it and see which one I feel more comfortable with. So I'll say do that and see what your results are, and then go from there. Make sense? All right. So that's definitely a good one to watch. There, good opportunity. Questions on the Aussie Swiss?
No, sir.
All right. The last one I want to look at is a Euro Swiss. It's just playing back and forth. Just playing back and forth. Daily time frame, we got a 382, came back down, got daily support, got a double bottom at that daily support, right? If this closes above, that'll confirm that support level. See if we're able to get things to turn around and push to the upside. All right. So watching this range play out here, see if we get some movement. Here on the 4 is where we got the 80-20 scenario, right? Just hovering in that 118, 127 zone. Okay. Just hovering in that zone. We'll see if we get price to turn over on that. All right. But there's your 80-20 scenario there on the Euro Swiss. Take from where price is, like that. Boom. All right, so that one is also just lingering. Let's see what the cloud looks like this on the 4. Yeah, just pressing through the cloud. We're below it right now. Coming down to the 1. Also 80-20 scenario on the 1, right? So got opportunities here, just need for price to do its thing, right? Patiently waiting. Right, just moving sideways to the cloud on the 1. Yeah. So we'll watch that closer to see what happens here, right? Could see that move back to the upside. Trade balance low. We can still expect short term. So with the trade balance low, below the expectation, that could potentially shift that sentiment, JC, from Swissy strength. We could see some retracements on that, seeing as there's less of a demand for the Swiss currency. So we could start to see some retracements happen on these Swiss pairs. Okay. Cool deal. questions on anything that we covered this morning? Yens are interesting. Swiss is interesting. One more I want to look at real quick. CAD Swiss. This was also an interesting one. Still hovering in this 118, 127 zone, weekly support, right? On the daily time frame, right? 80-20 scenario here. We'll see what happens. Yeah, 80-20 on the daily time frame there, coming to the 4. We got to push to the upside initially, and then we came back down, but we're not able to break this weekly support level, right? So we'll see if we get the push here, right? This was the original 80-20 scenario. We got to TP1. I didn't take profit on it because of the daily time frame situation. So I'm still sitting in this one, right? And it's just hovering along. So if we break this weekly support level, then I'll reassess. But with this weekly support level holding as strong as it is, could see this turnover and push to the upside. So this one would be interesting with both currencies in different situations. So coming down to the 1, right? Here's your 80-20 scenario on the 1, played out to the 382, then push back down, right? Hit the D extension, got a fresh AV boundary, and now we're range bound. Right. So this one is more of a higher time frame scenario, looking at your daily time frame in the 80-20 opportunity if we get some catalyst for the CAD, and if the Swissy if the Swissy slows down a bit. So that's the longer term play here. 382 is there on the daily. So this one I'm just sitting in, allowing it to do what it's going to do. And we'll watch and see how it plays out. Questions on the CAD Swiss?
No, sir.
Cool deal. Benny, anything before we wrap it up, bro?
Nope. Just continue to be patient, man. The market still moves in waves, even though it's the summer and it moves a little bit slower. So just an extreme exercise in patience and picking the right spots and then letting the trade go, managing your risk. That's it. Other than that, I look forward to seeing everybody tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Have an awesome day, everybody. We'll see you tonight, 9 p.m. Peace.